Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about Kayali. I have every fragrance from Kayali. I've been trying to make this video for months, but every time I've sat down to film the video, they've released a new launch. This happened with the wedding launch, this happened with the oud launch, and then now they have the new sparkling lychee. So I have them all and I wanted to put it all into one video where I go over every Kayali fragrance and rank them for you at the end. So without further ado, let's get into it. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna do it in the order of what it says on Fragrantica. So starting off with Citrus 08. So this is the first one of the bunch. This is Citrus 08 from Kayali. This fragrance, I actually got you can see that I have the largest size of this fragrance. For some reason I was so confident that I would love this, but this stands as my least favorite Kayali fragrance to this day. It has a really strong oak moss note, so even though I thought I loved grapefruit, I thought I loved all the notes that I saw in this, but the oak moss and the grapefruit smell really armpity, and I'm not a big fan of this one. I find that it's not even citrusy. It's more of like mossy, woody. I don't know if there's patchouli in this, but yeah, for some reason I just wasn't too big on the way that this smelled on my skin. It was really earthy and kind of woody and aromatic, and I usually like those notes with citrus fragrances, but it just smelled kind of strange for this. I don't think it really worked. So this is my least favorite from the brand. Next up we have Deja Vu White Flower, which every time I hold this up people think it's Vanilla 28 because it kind of looks like it. This is a white floral fragrance that honestly smells a little vanilla-y in the opening. You can definitely see like a similarity between the Kayali DNA. This is a tuberose gardenia nectarine vanilla scent. I don't think this is bad by any means, but for some reason I've just never been able to get into it. This was the first Kayali fragrance I ever got. I purchased this from Facebook Marketplace and I don't know, I didn't like it that much, and I remember after I got this I got Vanilla 28, and every time I put this on it was by accident because I thought I was putting on Vanilla 28 and I'd put this on and I was always like, no. I think it's the Indian jasmine that they has like an animalic facet, just like a little bit of an indolic jasmine, and you definitely have to like a more indolic jasmine to like this fragrance, because for me it's just too indolic. Okay, next up we have Eden Juicy Apple. Oh my god, I'm doing this in the order that they're in Fragrantica, which is basically my least favorites. Eden Juicy Apple is a very appley scent. This smells so strongly like something from Bath & Body Works. Like, it really has that Bath & Body Works DNA. I don't think it's bad by any means. I really like this layered with Prada Paradox. I think that this can be really good in layering combinations, but on its own I'm not too impressed by this. Yeah, it really smells like one of those like harvest apple Bath & Body Works scents, and I don't think it's bad. I know that this is one of their most popular ones. Yeah, this is like a red apple berries scent that's honestly the DNA of a celebrity fragrance. I've heard that this is kind of like Taylor Swift's Wonderstruck reincarnated. I don't really remember what Wonderstruck smelled like, but yeah, honestly, looking at the notes of the notes look very similar to like a celebrity fragrance. Like, this smells like the Nicki Minaj perfume I had when I was in grade 7 or like stuff like that. So maybe it's good for nostalgic value, but for me I just find it a little juvenile, and I think I like it better in layering, but I don't reach for it on its own. Next up we have Elixir 11, which I really like this one. This fragrance is another red apple fragrance, but instead of going the like juicy sugar red apple route, it goes this like patchouli route. This is, oh my god, the most delicious, deep. This smells like a princess. It smells so luxe and rich. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. And I'm not even a big patchouli person, but I love it in this. This on my skin smells so good. Like, if you like Givenchy L'Interdit Rouge, you'd like this as well. Apple, rose, floral. There's something that almost runs tuberose to my nose, like a little bit of almost like a white floral facet to this. An evening in Dubai where there's a woman dressed up really nice, and it's hot and it's dark and she's dressed in like very elegant clothing and like super luxe, super bougie. That's what it makes me smell like, or that's what it makes me think of. I will add that I don't wear this one as much because I don't think that it smells like me. I don't think it's a very me scent, but I think it's a great scent. This is one that I will stand behind, but I don't wear it as much on myself because I feel like I can't pull it off as much. Next up we have Invite Only Amber, which I think my opinion on this is gonna ruffle some feathers because I don't really like this one either. Oh, I showed you the wrong one. Okay, it opens to smell kind of like an apple pie. There's a really pretty tobacco note. sweet cinnamon. It's funny that I'm talking and I'm like, I'm not a big fan. And as soon as I spray it, I'm like, oh, kind of seeing it from a different light right now. Tobacco leaf, sour cherry, honey. You know what? It's sexy. I do like this one. This is another one that I think it smells great, but again, I feel like I can't pull it off. So it's not one that I wear very often because I'm not a big like oud patchouli kind of tobacco person, I think. But in the wintertime, oh my god, this is lovely. It reminds me of the aunt, like the cool aunt who smokes cigarettes and wears red lipstick and gives you big hugs and hugs you really tight, and you can smell the cigarettes left over on her shirt. Next up we have the Utopia Vanilla Cocoa 21. I find it so crazy because I don't have the bottle of this, I just have the sample, and I realized this juice is so dark. Like, this will stain your clothes. This is a very floral coconut vanilla scent. Like, there's a lot of florals to it. It's super coconut vanilla. I really love how creamy it is. The mixture of the gardenia and the coconut it's so good. These scents that are supposed to be like tropical, you can either go the more coconut route, like for example like Skylar Coconut Cove, which is just coconut, or you can go the more floral route like Juliet Has a Gun Lust for Sun. This has both and it's done exquisitely well. I think that the flowers take over in this. The coconut really rounds the flowers out very nicely, which I do appreciate. Yeah, this is beautiful, good for the summer, good if you like vanilla and coconut. It's kind of exactly what it's marketed to be. I like it. The only thing I will mention is that if you have the bottle, spray it far away from your clothes if you're spraying on white clothing because it will stain. Last up we have Vanilla Royale, which is a sugared patchouli, so patchouli and oud fragrance, which I wanted to love this. You guys talked so highly of this, but there was this like weird oud note that did something kind of funky on my skin that made it smell like kind of plastic. Like there was just like a really synthetic plasticky note that I didn't really like to this one. I thought the vanilla was really pretty and there's like some parts of it that I thought was so beautiful, but then as soon as it hit my skin and dried down, it went really off and kind of funky. So there was something about this that I wasn't a big fan of, and to this day it's still not one of my favorites. Next up we have the Yum Pistachio 33, which is one of my favorite perfumes from this brand. This is definitely within my top 3. This is the most interesting fragrance. I think it's crazy how it completely broke the internet and caused so much stir and so much hustle. I have a pretty big, I don't know if you can see my dent. Yeah, it's like up to here or something. This is a very cold smelling fragrance. Like it smells like you've walked into a big cellar, like a big refrigerated room, and you're smelling the refrigeration. Like it smells cold. It smells frosted. I think it smells like pistachio gelato. I know people were upset that it's kind of floral smelling. I think overall I get a lot of the cotton candy. I get a lot of the pistachio, especially in the dry down. But yeah, it's a very interesting fragrance. For some reason, I love it. I think it's great. I think it's done super well and I'm a big fan. Next up, we get into the Oudgasm collection. I actually don't have time. I have to end this video. I'm sorry. I gotta go. Bye. Hello. Okay, I just got back from my lunch that I was at. I was gone for a little while, so I'm sat back down and I'm ready to film part 2. What did I leave off on? I think I left off on the oud collection. So we get to smell the oud scents now. So first we're gonna smell Cafe Oud from Kayali. This is one of the fragrances from their oud collection that just came out over the summer. I got a little bit of this on my hand. So there's a really strong cappuccino note in this. But if you're a gourmand, I wouldn't say jump on this fragrance because there's a really strong oud scent. You've got like a really powdery geranium, which I really like because it's kind of masculine. I love the cappuccino note on this. I think it is gorgeous. I haven't smelled Noir de Noir by Tom Ford, but I've heard comparisons, and I've also heard, I think you'd like this if you like Floral Street's Ylang Ylang Espresso, which is this really beautiful like tiramisu espresso fragrance. So maybe I can turn it a little here so I'm kind of more in the sun. But yeah, I think this is a really beautiful cappuccino oud scent, and I don't know, I can only describe it how it smells, but I love this. This is so sexy. This smells like a lover. Like I want my man to wear this. My man. I don't know, I just think it's really sexy, and I think the cafe note is really interesting. Like I'm not seeing things like that in other fragrances. You have to like oud, but I really, really like this. Next up we have this one. This is the Rose Oud, which I think is one of the technically easier ouds, so they said. My apologies for the lighting and filming situation. It's still something I'm kind of figuring out, so I'm moving around a little bit because it's sort of sunset right now. Sun's starting to set at 3 p.m., which is amazing. Oh, so pretty. This is the most beautiful, sweet, twinkly floral smell. It doesn't have that gourmand, but I think it's a lot prettier. Like this does smell pink. It smells fun and it smells girl boss. The rose is reminding me of something that I've been smelling recently. Yeah, it does smell a little like Intense Cafe. Beautiful. Honestly, I haven't made a lot of videos on the oud collection because I just didn't spend a lot of time with it. But this rose oud is so good. I thought we couldn't get better from the cafe oud, but this is beautiful. Next up we have tobacco oud, which I heard this is the most, like, this breaks the most boundaries, and of all the oud fragrances, it potentially smells the most oud-y. It's the least blind buy safe. Generally not a big tobacco person. I'm not completely averse to it, but it's just not my favorite note. It's not one that I am drawn toward generally. I like the tobacco note in this, but there's something a little skanky about it that I don't love as much. Yeah, it smells like the inside of a shoe, like feet a little bit. I'm sorry, that's not the best thing to say, but I know this is beautiful, I know this is a masterpiece, but there's just something to the oud in here that I'm still figuring out my thoughts with. No hate to this fragrance, but again, it's just not really for me. Then last up we have the vanilla oud, which I know is the kind of projected bestseller. This fragrance is super likable. It's a really fluffy vanilla scent. I know that I gave this to my best friend Kirsten and she wore it out and she got a ton of compliments with it, so it just smells so beautiful and luxe and pretty, and I don't know, I'm just a big fan of it. I think it smells really good. It's very fluffy, and I know that it's oud, but there's almost some part of it that smells a little like Ariana Grande-y. Compared to Vanilla 28, it's got more depth, it's got more body, but it's almost more sugared. Vanilla 28 is more brown sugar, and this is more like white cane sugar. Next up, we have Lovefest Burning Cherry, which is the first fragrance that I have in this kind of packaging. This is their cherry perfume that kind of broke the internet because everyone loves cherry, and this is a very well done cherry scent. This one I really like. It does remind me of Tom Ford's Last Cherry. A really gorgeous cherry note. It's really juicy. Again, I think the fragrance does kind of match the color of the juice, where it's not like deep, seductive, I'm gonna drink your blood kind of vampire-y cherry. It's more like juicy, fun, flirty, playful cherry. Like, I know there's a bit of a more woody base, more woody dry down, but I just think that this has a really playful, flirtatious kick to it. Like, this fragrance smells like it's flirting with me, like it's trying to pick me up, and I really like that, so it's one of my favorites. Then we're moving on to the wedding collection, which is Silk Santal and Velvet Santal, which are for Mona and her husband. First of all, we have the Silk Santal, which is Mona's fragrance. This is a more creamy vanilla than the rest of them. It really does, it has a creamy quality to it. Like, it smells milky, it smells frosted. I think there's the sandalwood note in here that adds the creaminess to it. It's a little musky, it's got that sugar in the base. Nectarine praline, it's just, ooh, it's just so good. It's just wiped me up. Like, this is wedding material. I love it. It's so good. It's one of the fragrances I could douse myself in. Then we have the Velvet Santal, which is another one of my favorites. This fragrance really took me by surprise because I didn't expect it to smell the way it does. I love this. I think this is totally feminine. It's unisex, but I think it's almost leaning femme, which I think is so cute for a husband scent. Really leaning into the kind of like feminine side of the masculine counterpart. You know, it smells comforting, it smells nurturing, and I don't know, I just think that's like kind of the perfect thing to lean into for a wedding. It smells very similar to Mon Guerlain by Guerlain, and also Tonka Imperiale by Guerlain as well. So it smells like a lot of their fragrances. It really smells like a Guerlain fragrance. If this wasn't Kayali, this would be a Guerlain, or I don't know how to say it, Guerlain, whatever. It smells like a fabric, soft and buttery velvety, like velvety curtains, or like you're putting on a theatrical performance in the kind of velvet that someone would wear. I think this is beyond gorgeous and I love it. We have finally made it to, I don't think I ever talked about Vanilla 28. Okay, I think I forgot to talk about Vanilla 28, so I'm gonna talk about this now. This is my favorite Kayali perfume. This is my favorite vanilla perfume. This is my go-to perfume. It's just so easy and likable. It's the perfect vanilla scent. I've never liked a vanilla as much as I've liked this. This is the first perfume I've actually gone through a bottle for and repurchased. So I have this, and I also have another one of these. So I have a huge Vanilla 28 collection. And I'm a huge fan of this perfume. It makes me sneeze when I spray it. I don't know why. It's vanilla and brown sugar, and it's perfect. If I ever want a perfume that I want to sweeten up, I'll put this on. If I ever have a perfume or like a body lotion, I just want to smell a little sexier, I put this on top. I have met a boyfriend in this perfume. This is a must-have if you're dating. I'm just kidding. You never need perfume, but this is a perfume that really shines, especially when I'm dating or going on dates or cuddling someone. I just think it's so romantic and beautiful, and I'm so passionate about this perfume. I love it, I love it, I love it. Oh, I also missed pink pepper. We also have the Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper. This is their pink pepper perfume. I also love this perfume. I did a whole first reactions on TikTok where I bought a bunch of samples of Kayali. I love pink pepper. I think it's such a pretty note. And pink pepper and rose are a match made in heaven. This is the most beautiful, like, she's sexy, but she's not gonna listen to everything you say. She's not gonna obey you. You know, she's living on her own terms kind of thing. There's some really interesting psychological research into the ways that someone will interpret you based off of the kind of perfume that you're wearing. And there's some really interesting research on the scent of pink pepper and how it changes people's estimations of your weight. No idea about whether that's true or not. Psychologically, this makes you smell skinny, apparently. And I can't argue with that, you know? Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I love this. I need to get a full size of this. This is so pretty. Why don't people talk about this one? Last up, we have their brand new fragrance. This is Kayali's Eden Sparkling Lychee. Now, I found out they were launching a lychee perfume. I was so excited. And then when I found out that it was an Eden perfume, I got a little nervous because I don't really like juicy apple. But this is an Emma perfume. I don't know how, but they had me in the lab. They must have had a doppelganger. They hired someone who has been knowing my taste and they brought me into the lab somehow. Again, I was not in the lab, but I just don't know how this was made without me knowing. Like, this is such an Emma perfume. It smells like every shampoo I've ever loved. Before I had perfume when I was growing up, I'd have certain shampoos that were my personality traits because, like, I had this like Garnier Fructis apple shampoo that was literally my signature scent because I smelled like apple everywhere I go. Every time I move my hair, it would smell like apple. This kind of smells like certain body care products that I used growing up that became my personality trait, like my signature scent. This smells like candies that I like a sparkling rosé candy. I love it. It's so juicy and happy and fun. And I did a wear test in front of my boyfriend and he loved it. So yeah, I highly recommend this one. I think it's so good and I'm a big fan. So I'm definitely gonna rank these and we'll see. So today we're gonna do a tier ranking system of all of the Kayali fragrances, ranking them from my least favorite to my most favorite. So starting off with Citrus 08, this fragrance is gonna go in the what happened category because what happened? This fragrance, it looked so amazing. I had such high expectations for it, but I just didn't think it worked. First of all, it doesn't smell like citrus. Second of all, it smells really bad on my skin and just what happened? I don't know what happened there. I'm also gonna put White Flower into the what happened category because I don't really like it. Next up we have Elixir, which I will say Mona Slade with Elixir. This fragrance is sexy, it's hot, it's different, and I just think Mona really slayed. I'm also gonna say with the invite only, I'm also gonna put this in Mona Slade because I think it smells really good and I think it's sexy and good and makes me feel like I'm doing something dangerous that I shouldn't be doing, which I really like, and I just think it smells good, so I'm a big fan. Next up we have Musk 12 from Kayali, which I also really like. I'm gonna put it in I Want to Drink This because this is honestly one of my favorite Kayali perfumes. Musk 12 is just so easy, it's so likable, and I just think it works so well. You can layer it with anything. It's clean, it's pretty, and it's so good. Next up we have Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, which I also want to drink. This is so sexy. It's so good. It just makes me feel like a badass. Then we have Utopia, which I'm going to say this neutrally hits. Utopia, it's just not my type of scent. I do like coconut, I do like white florals, but I'm not usually a big like summer scent person, like this kind of thing, and so it just neutrally hits for me. Vanilla 28, I want to drink this. My favorite from Kayali, hands down, it's so good. Vanilla Royale, I'm gonna say I'm gonna keep this on the shelf. I don't love it, but I know other people do, and so I think I'm gonna keep it on the shelf. Not really gonna wear it that much, but it's gonna stay around. Then we have Kayali Yum Pistachio, which Mona Slade. This is not exactly drinkable just yet, and it really smells like pistachio, which I love. Starting off with the Rose Oud, which is so sexy. I have it right here. Rose Oud is a slay. If you like intense cafe, this is amazing. This is between Slade and I Want to Drink This, but I'm gonna put it in Slade. Just because I'm still new to it, so I'm gonna put it in Slade, but it could go up to the Drink This category. Tobacco Oud, which I'm gonna say we'll keep it on the shelf. I really hate that these aren't going in real lines, but whatever. I'm gonna keep it on the shelf. It's not my favorite, but it's pretty good. Eden Juicy Apple. I'm not the biggest fan of Eden Juicy. Why is it looking like this? Okay, what happened? I'm gonna put it at the bottom. Eden Juicy Apple, I'm not a big fan of it. I think it doesn't smell very expensive. I wish it smelled different. I don't know. It's just not my favorite. Cafe Oud, which I love. This one smells like it's oud, but it's gourmand and it's fun and it's different. So I'm gonna say Slade as well. Then last is the Vanilla Oud, which is also a Slade. I think it's really good. Lovefest Burning Cherry, it is also a Slade. Mona really did well with that one. The Wedding Collection, you guys know it's a slay. It's really good. The men's, I'm gonna put in to drink this because I just think it's so sexy and velvety and amazing. And then last up we have the lychee, which is also something I would want to drink, and I don't know why it is lining up like this. That makes me so mad. But sparkling lychee is absolutely delicious. It's so good. I have it on right now, and I think this is like a 10 sprays minimum. It is so good. So that's my ranking of the Kayali perfumes. That's how I'm gonna rank them. Let me know what you would choose. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you, Kayali, for sending me these perfumes because they did send me a lot of these. I love this brand. I love Kayali. Let me know if you guys try any of these out. I'll have all the fragrances linked below. In the meantime, please follow me, please subscribe, like this video. I know it's cheesy to say, but I'm just starting out on YouTube, so I really, really appreciate all the support that you guys can manage. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, and I will see you guys in the next video. I love you guys so much!